and welcome to Monday the 1st of March's phonics session for grasshoppers and dragonflies. Hope you all had a lovely weekend and are ready for some new learning. Okay, shall we have a little look at what we're going to be up to today? We've got some new words to practice reading this week. Let's see what they are. Okay, we have the word under, river, better, mother, and never. Again, all words ending in the ER that we were looking at last week. So your challenge is, can you sound button these words? A little bit like as I was speaking them just a minute ago, and have a go at reading them yourself. Okay, so we're going to have a little revisit here of what we've been learning about adding the ER suffix to words. So it usually makes a noun, which is usually a person. For example, read would become reader. So what happens when we add the suffix ER to a noun which ends in E? Can you remember? We don't double that E, we just add an R. So drive becomes driver with just one E. So what happens when you add the ER suffix to a word containing a short vowel sound or to words ending with a single consonant? Okay, for that one we double it, don't we? We double that consonant before adding the suffix. For example, run becomes runner. So, and then what happens to a word if it ends in X when we add the suffix ER? Can you remember? The root word doesn't change at all. So, for instance, mix becomes mixer. So we were looking at some comparative adjectives the other day, and today we're going to look at them on how they compare one person or action to another thing or a state. So, for instance, if we add the suffix ER to the original adjective, here we've got the word brighter. Bright is the original adjective, okay, and is the suffix. It is comparing two things only. For instance, Sam's torch is brighter than John's torch. So that's a comparative adjective. It is used when you are comparing two things together. So sometimes the root adjective in the spelling doesn't change at all. So here we've got the word warm. So the weather is warmer today than yesterday. So when we add the suffix ER, it doesn't change that root word at all, that adjective. Whereas other times the root adjective spelling does change. Okay, the final consonant might be doubled, or if the word ends in an E, we would just end and add an R. We wouldn't double that E. So for instance, if we had the word big, we would change that to bigger. My car is bigger than yours. So we would double that final consonant because it is a short vowel sound. Or if we had the word there nice, and we wanted to change it to nicer, like my car is nicer than yours. Oh, the S is missing on yours there, sorry. Then we don't double that E, we just add the R. So what happens when we add the suffix ER to the following verbs? So we've got the word long becomes longer. Light becomes lighter. Fat becomes fatter. And if you look on this one, because it's the final consonant with a short vowel sound, we have doubled that T, whereas the first two, we've just added ER. The root word hasn't changed. Big, as we saw earlier, becomes bigger. We double that final consonant. Late, because it ends in an E, we just add the R. We don't double the E. Becomes later, sorry. And then nice, as we saw just a minute ago, becomes nicer with just adding the R. Okay, so what we're going to do is have a little practice ourselves now at adding the suffix ER to the following verbs that end in an E. So that's the rule we're looking at here. We've got the word large, wise, brave, rude, safe, and ripe. Okay, so what you might want to do is write those down now, perhaps pause the video, and then write what is going to happen to them when we add the ER suffix at the end. Okay, let's have a look at what we think the answers would be. So large is going to become larger. Wise is going to become wiser. Brave, braver. Rude, ruder. Safe, safer. And ripe, riper. And as you can see on all of those, we haven't doubled that E, have we? It's still just one E. All we've done is add the R on the end. Well done if you got all of those correct. Okay, now the challenge is, can you write some sentences that use these words? Okay, so you might say something like, the pears were riper than the apples. I was braver than my friend. Okay, anything like that. See if you can put them together and make your own sentences. Okay, so we're going to have a quick look now at writing some sentences. We've got 2 sentences here, and we need to remember our capital letters, finger spaces, and our end punctuation. Okay, so the first sentence I'm going to go through with you. If you get your pen and paper ready, you can write these down as we go. It says, I am braver than my little brother. Okay, so let's see if we can write this together. We're going to start with an I. Okay, is it going to be a capital I or a small I? What do you think? Yes, it's going to be a capital, because not only is it you're talking about yourself, so it's always a capital in that sense, but it's also the first word in a sentence. So we're going to write I am, I am. Our next word, using today's rule, braver, braver. I am braver. And then we put than my. I am braver than my, and then we've got 2 more words, little brother. Little brother. Make sure though, because when we sound out the word brother, it sounds like it's got an in it, but it hasn't got an That's might trick some of you. See if you can try and write it with the correct spelling. So I am braver than my little brother. Should we have a little look at what that sentence looks like? Here we go. I am braver than my little brother. 2 words there ending in ER, and 1 using today's rule of adding the suffix ER by just adding the R, not doubling the E. Right, well done if we got that sentence correct. Okay, now the next sentence is, my cousin is ruder than me. Let's see if we can write that down. So we're going to start with the word my. Think about what that is going to start with, my. Then we've got cousin. Have a little go at spelling the word cousin. That's a bit tricky, that one. My cousin. Then we've got is. My cousin is. So let's see if we've got that written down. My cousin is. Then we've got ruder. So that's a word that's using today's rule. Rude with at the end. Ruder. Then we've got than me. So my cousin is ruder than me. Than me. And of course, remembering how we're going to end that sentence as well. So my cousin is ruder than me. Let's have a little look at what that looks like. My cousin is ruder than me. I hope you had a really good attempt there at writing the word cousin, okay, because it is a bit tricky. And our words that use our rule today, like ruder. Perhaps what you might want to do is pause the video now so you can go through it. You can check them and also read the sentences yourself. Okay, that is it for today. I hope that you have a lovely day, and I look forward to seeing you again tomorrow for some more phonics. Take care. Goodbye.